Yo, what is up, everybody? We are back. We've got a first show here of the Bring the Heat podcast with people you should already know and be subscribed to. But without any further ado, we've got Beto in the house from Niners Sickness. We've got Mariah from 49er Faithfully podcast, and we got Bashar from 49er Minded.
Yo.
And we are here. We are the Bring the Heat podcast, and we are coming at you to bring you the heat. What is up? I want to give a shout out to the chat real quick. We had Bebop in the house. Oh, whoops, sorry. We have
what's up, Bebop?
Bebop.
I thought I hit Bryant. We have Bryant Culp in the house. Shout out to Bryant and his pineapples. You guys all know about Bryant Culp and his pineapples? He is now replacing the fire symbol. He's replacing the fire symbol with pineapples. Okay, in honor of Kittle. Okay. We got Lieutenant Campbell. Now, if only we can find. Oh, JT Campbell. Sorry, I don't Lieutenant. How did I miss that?
I'm like, that's why I just said Campbell. I'm like, okay.
Got Corey Davis
Campbell,
in the house.
He's a Chiefs fan.
Oh, what up?
Hey, Corey.
Yo,
what's up,
Corey.
Corey did a couple laps a day on his trike. He was out there riding around, so he showed us his little pass,
That's
and he was getting
wonderful.
busy.
Well, hopefully Debo doesn't show up.
Who doesn't? Oh yeah, huh?
Debo.
Yeah, Corey.
Watch out for Debo.
Tuck in that chain.
Look at it hard.
I love when Beto uses those voices.
Look,
It's
yeah,
so fitting.
Mexican.
You see this big ass Mexican guy sitting there with this little ass voice coming out of him.
I can't
I'm
be
gonna
able to take
kick
it
your
in.
ass. Don't be talking about me, Vinci Mariah.
It sounds like he should be like this tall.
Mm-hmm. Like a little mouse or something.
Don't talk about a soundboard.
I'm gonna call my
He's
daddy.
like those.
Who called me?
He's those little things in the Willow. You know, the little elf things that would run around, and he's like that from the Willow. So
call me
49ers,
Lieutenant Dan.
Call me Lieutenant
49,
Campbell.
yeah. I was thinking, I was like, Lieutenant Campbell, we just need a Lieutenant Dan. And then I realized right when I was about to say that it was JT. And I was like,
Too
God,
much
you're
weed,
an
bro.
idiot, Ryan. Right? Or
You guys
not
said
enough.
he's too high,
Or
so
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. So the 49ers had their the state of their union address, or whatever you want to call it, state of the franchise. I don't like Clay Guido. I don't know. It seemed like the first 20 plus minutes of that thing, I was just like, why are we even here? Like, it's just like lip service for no reason. And then finally, when you started getting to the coaches, you're still getting lip service, but you kind of got to learn a little bit. You know what I mean? But I want to know your guys' state of the franchise. I want you to give me your feeling about this. Remember, this is Bringing the Heat. So if there's anything you feel somewhat upset about, please don't hold back. Bashar, I want to start with you because I know there's definitely some things brewing here.
I'm really, my energy levels are really low today, so you're not gonna. I don't know. It may take me a while to warm up, if I do warm up at all.
Trey Lance is a bust.
your quarterback sucks.
You know what's funny? I think the last 4 shows I did, I may have said that I don't want to talk about quarterbacks. I may have messaged my co-host or whoever my guest is, like, hey, let's not talk quarterbacks. And somewhere or another it comes up, and somewhere or another I get triggered, and F-bombs start dropping, and people start typing in the chat, let Bash cook. So I don't know if it's gonna happen today. It may not, but hey, usually when I say it doesn't happen, it happens. So go figure. But yeah, I'll talk about the state of the franchise. It was total shit. It sucked. It was fucking trash. I mean,
You don't even have. You could give me your state of the franchise. I'm really kind of looking for your state of the franchise. If you want to also give me your thoughts on the state of the franchise, I appreciate it too.
Yeah. I'll give a little bit. I just want to rant about how weak it was too, because I know you said that too, and I was like, because I didn't know that they were going to have one. Well, first they had that Dwight Clark thing that I totally forgot that they were going to have, and they kind of did a mini state of the franchise there, right? And then I finally caught the videos of the last way after the fact, and then when I heard there was a state of the franchise, I found out way after the fact. Apparently, I was out of the loophole for whatever reason. I was out of the loop, and then when like you said in the beginning, Al Guido was just like, oh. Yeah, the fans, the attendance, the fans, the attendance. We have a home field advantage. Like, we know we already have a home field advantage. We know that. We know.
Yeah.
But they mentioned it so many times. And then they were like, oh, you guys travel really well. And they stretched that out. I don't know. I never seen a topic stretched out so much than that. The attendance at home, the attendance on the road, and then just the whole they just kept patting each other on the back. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and Papa. It was just getting really boring and annoying. The only part that had any substance, like you mentioned, when they brought up the position coaches, even the special teams coach and our new DC and Forrester, the offensive line coach / running game coordinator. Yeah, they all said good things. I didn't get as far as to the players part, but it was just so weak and lackluster. I feel bad for anybody who paid money to go sit and watch that, but some of the fans who sat and watched it, I guess you can kind of call them diehards, but you can kind of call them low-key casuals because they were clapping and cheering for every little thing as if it was the most entertaining thing they've witnessed in years. So I was like, okay, this is what they find entertaining in regards to Niner content, because I sure as hell don't. But state of franchise, I mean, I think we have a good shot this year to do something. Again, the quarterback position we don't know who's going to play. We don't know who's going to compete. We don't know what the hell is happening. Love the defense. Love the fact that Wilkes is in the middle, is in command of the defense, going to be up top, watching the games for the booth, and top to bottom in regards to positions, we're really stacked. I mean, offensive line, right tackle is a bit of a question mark for me, but again, we're going to be playing hella games we're going to do hella travel time this year too, so who knows if we can replicate the same type of record. So it's going to be interesting.
I like that from JT Campbell there.
I thought he was a Chiefs fan. I guess he's a Panthers fan. I don't know why I thought he was a Chiefs fan.
Well, he's a Niners fan.
Yep.
Oh,
and I've heard a lot of
Panthers
talk about that before.
I could have. I thought I saw JT Campbell in the chats for Locker Room Rant, and I could have sworn he was one of the Chiefs fans that's always on there. I haven't confused with somebody else. My bad.
He might just be an extra fan of the Niners.
You might
Like still a fan of Carolina, but
Lieutenant Campbell.
Maybe I don't know. Well, he put Lieutenant down.
Lieutenant Campbell.
I think he is.
I heard
locker room.
I heard Lieutenant Campbell's a mess.
Yeah.
My bad for going on.
JT's cool. Lieutenant, no, not so much.
Yeah, Lieutenant. We don't really like to talk about him. Beto, give me your state of the franchise. Your feelings on the state of
the to fall off.
Oh my
For
God,
Papa's
he was
vote?
trying to impale
Toupee
himself
or
on
hair
everybody
fake
on
hair?
the stage.
Who are you talking about?
Papa,
Papa.
Oh, great.
Greg
I can't
Papa.
stand his ass.
him and his fake hair.
I used to be a
Dude.
big fan of him, but you guys are making me
Well-
not like him, and he's making me not like him. So
I
Talk
can't
about-
remember what it was, but he got something wrong, and they kind of just like, yeah, Papa, that's nice, and they kind of
Ryan, shut the fuck up.
answered
It's
the
my turn.
question the right way. My bad. Well, we got into something. My
Oh,
bad. He
oh,
was just bad.
I'm messing with you, bro.
Go ahead, Beto.
go ahead, go finish up, Brian.
I'm
Finish up,
messing
Brian.
with you.
Finish up, Brian.
I'm all about having fun, bro. Let's bring the heat.
Well,
Well,
man.
he made some kind of mistake. I can't remember. And he like misspoke about something, and they like totally glossed over it instead of being like, "Man, you're a fucking idiot, Greg Papa." And I was like, "Can you just fucking call him out? Like, why the hell do we have this guy here?" Not only cannot remember whether he's the color commentator or the play-by-play, but we
Yep.
got to sit through 45 minutes of him trying to sit there and bury his face in everybody's lap. Like,
Like, why
holy
did you get the Raiders
Jesus,
fucking
man.
leftovers? Just because he didn't want to go to Vegas with the Raiders, we got stuck with his ass. That's why I don't like him.
Right.
You should stay with the Raiders or go find something else to do.
We're supposed to be setting the bar, not taking somebody's hand-me-downs or toss-aways and going through
Mhm.
somebody's trash. Holy shit! What up, Jess?
What's up,
Yes.
Jess?
Beto
My
and
co-host on
Jess have a
Friday.
channel.
Oh,
or-
Jess.
yes, and with that, I'll let Beto get to his State of the Union.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It'll be
It's just the
the
same
last
bullshit
time.
we're all going to talk. We're all going to talk about. It's just a bunch of hogwash, man. I think the people there was just probably told, clap, be part of the stage. But all Greedo, all he talks about reservations. We're going to make this stadium look better. Talk about cover the damn side of the sun. Put some shade on that shit. You're going to see a lot of changes by the time the Super Bowl comes around. Why don't you make the changes now? The same, Al Guido talking the same nonsense, and then you have Papa there sucking up pee-pee, and then Jay York comes out with his bald-headed, comes out with Kyle and John, and talk their spill and how that team's going to be better and this and that, and it's like, I asked myself, why do you even watch it? But I went up watching it because I want to see if there's any type of improvement or anything exciting to hear. And it's not. The only time I enjoyed it was when the players were out there. But even the coaches, I got to admit, Steve Wilkes brought it. What's the name? Oh, my God. Brian probably is the only one that was clapping for the special team coordinator when he was talking about Moody. 20 minutes about Moody, you got to be shitting me, bro. Really? Moody this and Moody
Brian
that.
must have loved that part.
Yeah, you said Brian with pom-poms. Yeah, Moody. Bullshit,
And Moody
you know what I mean?
juice.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, and then when the players came out, Fred Warner was pretty cool. And then, what's his name? Our center. Man, I hope he plays better than he can talk into a microphone. That dude looked like he was a deer in the freaking headlights. Yeah,
surprised they-
I never
Fred.
thought of him as being his personality. I'm surprised they had him out there.
Yeah,
I got to go
that's
back and watch
weird.
Why
this.
put him the first one next to Papa? Put him last, where Fred Warner was. Shit.
Hey,
Leap.
that was better than the first time I've ever heard him speak before. So like he was a mess way more before that, and so this is better.
He's gotten better.
Improving.
This has
But you
gotten
think
better.
This is like there's some partial entertainment value that's supposed to be brought to the stage, and you think they'd pick somebody with more personality out of all the personalities we have on this fucking team, and Brendel, who has got the personality of a brick wall. Come on now.
Yeah. Bring the freaking Trent Williams, but Trent Williams like, I ain't going out there and wasting my time. Some of that bullshit. So Trent Williams.
I want to say this, Beto. You have a big fan in the chat room. His name is Carcast, and he loves it when you
shout out to
levitate.
Carcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna levitate right into your home, Carcass, when you're asleep. No.
That's who that was on the video.
That came out wrong.
I couldn't even tell
That
who
came
it
out
was.
completely wrong. Never mind, scratch. That shit came out wrong. That's not. Son of a
I don't.
pinchy bash. Shut
You
up,
weren't
Bash.
able to pull out of that dive.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it was scary, but it's not the scary that I was trying to get at. Different scary. Son of a bitch.
Go back to Dua Lipa, Carcast. It's okay.
Bad, you're a pinche puto, man. Get out of here. Bye. Sorry, Carcast. You're safe.
You know what, Brian? I'm gonna have Moody go there and kick you in the butt. But anyway, yeah, he saw me levitate on you know what? Talking about that real quick, I gotta give it to Ryan, man. When Ryan does not love to be interrupted, when Ryan's speaking, he does not like to be interrupted, and I can respect that. But the dude is like, he's talking about his grandpa, which is personal to him. I understand that perspective, but here comes Carcast out of nowhere. What the is Beto levitating? And you hear Ryan, what are you talking about? Look, he's levitating. And then Ryan just totally ignores him and just keeps talking and telling his story like nothing happened. I busted up laughing. That
Beto's
shit
not
was funny to me.
levitating. You know what I'm saying? I know Beto's not levitating. It's not no.
You know how fat I
there's
am to
no-
levitate?
Exactly.
Son of a bitch.
Like it's
I got to be
look,
levitating over
look,
250 pounds.
if
Hey, he
Beto's
just in a contract
levitating-
with the MGM.
we
In
figured out how
Vegas.
they moved the stones in the pyramid. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? If Beto's levitating, we figure out yeah. Oh my gosh, he's levitating. He's levitating. That's actually him going into
He's
the
going
ground.
into the depths of hell.
Oh my God.
Now he's being
He's-
saved.
he's
You
being
are now
saved.
entered into my realm.
But that was
He was
funny shit,
really
bro. You
free
just ignored him.
too.
I know. I
like,
watched
"God,
that
bro."
clip, and you just see him like
Like-
lean in, like you could tell he's like.
Yeah, he's
looking
like, yeah.
into
Well,
the,
he must have not
to
seen.
the
He must have not
screen.
seen when I sat down. He must have just caught me when I was bringing the table down.
Mhm.
He's like, and it wasn't until Bash brought it to my attention, and then a clip that I busted on live. He's like, "Holy shit, is he levitating?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Bro, I haven't levitated since I was 6 months old."
Yeah.
What's up,
Shout out
Joe
to
Stevens?
Joe Stevens. Oh, and we got Don Dodson in the
Don.
house. What up, Don?
What's up, Don? My little sis.
Got to put a cap on the bad words.
What the fuck?
Mariah.
Yeah, I haven't watched the state of the whatever yet, and you guys are making me not want to even waste my time at this point. So
No,
I'll just fast forward to the coaches interviews and player interviews. I mean, the only thing I'm really, obviously I'm excited, it's going to be a long time without football, the next how many 90 days or whatever the hell it is. But I'm excited for training camp to finally come and for this season to get started. I'm sick and shit. There's this quarterback discussion like every single day. It's the same shit. You log on to Twitter, it's the same shit. Like I haven't even logged into YouTube for I can't remember when, because anything you listen to, it's like, I'll come in, say hey, and then that's it, because it's going to turn to quarterback discussion. And like Bash was saying, as much as we don't want to talk quarterbacks, it somehow always comes back to quarterbacks, right? Like we can't help it because that's the state of our franchise right now,
Yep.
right? Like that's where we're in, and it's like,
unfortunately.
yeah, like 49er fans are at each other's throats trying to kill each other on Twitter, and it's just like, it's very unfortunate that instead of fighting the enemies, we're fighting each other.
We fight each other more than the enemy nowadays.
Yeah. And it's like, we're mad at each other, but at the end of the day, it's like, we're in this situation because of John and Kyle. Like we're mad at each other for a situation that they have put us in. So
Thank you.
like, I don't know why we're taking it out on each other. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm so tired of freaking fighting and talking about quarterbacks. Like, I just want whoever to win the job fairly and get us a fucking trophy at the end of the day, right? Like, that's what matters. Whoever does it, I don't give a shit. Just somebody do it. Stop trying to say we're in a win now, window, yet we're not winning shit. Like, if I have to hear one more time, we're in a win now window, so we need this quarterback, or we're in a win now window, so we need to do this. Yet
Yep.
we don't win a Lombardi in the last 3, 4, 5 fucking years that I've heard we're in a win now window. So, yeah,
You just
That's
knocked it out of
where-
the park, Mariah. We can end the show right now.
that's where I'm at with everything. I just want the season to start so we can have real football to talk about and see and know who our quarterback is and fight against other opponents instead of ourselves.
Brian
Freaking
says
out.
he
Brian
tries
says
really hard
fire.
on his channel to talk kickers.
He says, "Fire
Yeah.
John." Who would have hired you? Who would have drafted your kicker though? We should fire John for
Shouldn't
that.
it? Wait. Shouldn't it be Pineapple, Kyle and John? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm at Walmart like
Oh,
Corona.
Bebop, you're at Walmart like Corona.
Oh, you're at Walmart. I was about to go to
So,
Walmart today, but I didn't go.
You're buying Coronas at Walmart.
So you don't know about this on the on the Friday night show. Corona was walking through Walmart with his phone on, listening to us, right? And we knew that, so we're saying some very outlandish stuff. We're on Corey's yes, doing the trivia on Thursday night. And instead of just saying, D for the multiple choice question, we're going, I'm taking the D. You know what I mean? and we just even more outlandish stuff like if you have frozen pea in your freezer, raise your hand. So like David was raising his hand walking through Walmart. So we had a little fun that night. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, David. Oh, there's more. Go back to last Friday's show. Within 10 minutes, 15 minutes. No, within 15 minutes, you'll be like, what the fuck, David?
Language.
Why? No, Don's all alone.
Oh, is she? Oh, and then
Yeah,
hey,
she said
step
she's
it up.
solo. Vendel's like, okay, swear more.
Yeah, bring it on. Hey, bring the heat, baby.
Yes, Friday night.
I was gonna say shout out to Brian Culp on the Friday night shows where on your channel where he wears this where he is wearing a suit and he's like doing the weekly update news.
Have you seen David McNiner's suit?
And David McNiner with the virtual suit change that freaked me out. Like
with no sleeves.
Yeah, within a blink of an eye, he changed into a different suit. I didn't get it.
So it does
Freaky
that.
Friday.
StreamYard does that. So it like remembers your last frame or whatever when you turn your camera off, and then it will. Hold on, let's see if I can't do it.
Let me try it.
Hey, that's better. Leave it off.
No, it didn't do it.
When you came up, you were like that.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? I did it? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, now, hey, you solved the mystery, Ryan. There you go.
Yeah.
You should have messed with him, bro.
So you can.
I was waiting for you to give us a middle figure or something.
Yeah.
Cast says he says he's gonna come fit it on Friday night. He's gonna be dripped out on Friday night.
He needs to come way down because he was like freaking out, like jumping up and stuff like that. He better have some heavy drip, bruh.
I would have said I scared him with my levitation in his hair, but that's just a normal haircut. So
I know you went all David Blaine on him.
David Blaine.
David Blaine, yeah. Don't you remember that? He used to go up to like the sidewalk and he'd raise himself up like a couple inches, be like, dude. And then he started doing shitty magic tricks like being in ice. Like it was like, okay, where's the magic, bud? Yeah, it's more like a Guinness World Record more than it is magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this isn't magic anymore, bro. Getting back. This is almost like
Niners.
drifting like the Friday show. Me personally, the State of the Union was pity for the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes ish. Even when it gets into like talking with the coaches and the players, it's still extremely vanilla, but there are things to kind of give you an idea of what's going to happen this season. I think they brought out Brendel to make everybody feel better about McKivitz, because it was kind of like, hey, you were in the same spot last year with this guy, and now here he is right here, and he did fine. So I think it was like trying to make people feel better about McKivitz without having McKivitz there. That's just all I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, Greg Papa needs to go.
He's getting worse. I mean, when he said that Brandon Allen shit, I was like, okay, I'm probably officially off the Greg Papa train. If not, I got like at least one leg out the door. I don't know. Yeah, Brandon Allen is better than Trey Lance. Like, please, Papa.
You
But remember that song by Madonna?
Out the door.
Remember that song by Madonna? Papa don't preach.
Yeah.
Oh, we should make that a hashtag. If he keeps on with this bullshit, about the hashtag, I'm gonna fucking tag him on Twitter and put that shit. Papa don't preach.
That's good.
I got a song. It's called "Daughter Don't Sing."
Papa don't preach.
Don't you remember that's from the Chappelle Show? That's
Oh, he said that. He said that.
I think it was the Pimp or something like that. It's like, I got a song. It's called "Daughter Don't Sing." It was when they did the Player Haters Ball. I think it was the Player Haters Ball one.
Mm,
Yeah, but
Mom is.
we gotta get Papa out of here.
we do.
Let's go into a more fruitful topic. Who's gonna be our third linebacker? Who's gonna be the come in to solidify that role? Seems like there's a couple guys on the team that could really actually take that spot. And I heard Ted and Jess from East Coast Red and Gold earlier talking about, should we maybe potentially look into maybe trading one of those guys, instead of trying and get them to get on the practice squad. You know what I mean? Before somebody swoops them, we make a trade and get some draft capital for them. So let me get your thoughts. See, I started with Bashar last time. Let's go Beto.
I think they're gonna if they trade anybody, it's gonna be a flag again. I can't pronounce his last name, but that's the guy they would trade. I think.
Fouls?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Flanagan
Flanagan
Foles?
Bowles, yeah. Yeah, they'll trade him. I think he has the most trade value. I know I heard you. I'm playing on Bulls.
It was like Bulls. Like, I don't got any more left, bruh.
You
don't
never
know.
had any more left. Keep chewing on it. Back to your question, damn it. I think the person that is going to take Oren Burks is going to be the third linebacker behind Greenlaw. I know they brought him for special teams, but this kid has played very well in the absence of Greenlaw last year. When Greenlaw was hurt, he did pretty well. I know a lot of people want Ball to be the one in there, but I think Oren Burks is a clear guy that'll. But how often do they go with three linebacker sets anyway? They normally, they go more with an extra safety or corner. So if they do bring someone in as a third one, it's going to be, to me, Oren Burks. As long as they have Fred Warner and Greenlaw as the 1 and 2, that's all that matters. By the way, PFF ranked the best linebacker core of the NFL, and Niners were number 1 with Fred Warner and Greenlaw. So I like that. Puto.
Okay.
You want to go ahead, Mariah?
Mariah, what's your thoughts?
Sure. I am one of those that's going with Marcelino McCurry Ball. I've liked him since we got him. And I think with a bigger role, with more opportunity, I mean, he just looks like a playmaker to me. Yeah, I think Oren Burks, obviously, I think he's going to be on the team. He's a great special teams guy. I just don't personally think he's fit for being that guy that we depend on. But I mean, he could shock a lot of people. We'll see. But if it was up to me, I'm going with Marcelino McCurry Ball.
Hey, can I just say something real quick? I just looked out my window. Fat women with big stomachs should not be wearing short clothes that thin girls wear. She just walked one of my neighbors walked by, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like Bola Menudo walking by. It's a no-no. Now I feel like I'm living with Ryan and the crackheads.
Oh, bro. My roommate the other day, I'm sitting in my room, minding my own business. I think I was working on something. And I got a text from my roommate that says,
on something, all right.
There's a crackhead downstairs in the backyard. I said, what? And so I go down in there, and they're gone. And she's like, yeah, it's that lady who was in the alley, or I've already called the cops. I was like, okay, good on you. Like, get them crackheads out of here. I noticed that that white car that I showed you, some crackhead been going through it. The door's open. No, that guy's still in jail. Supposedly nobody's supposed to be at the house at all. At all. Like, it's like I guess condemned or whatever. Like, not condemned, but like nobody can go into it.
That's crackhead's favorite home.
It looks It looks really nice. Where were we?
Oh,
Start talking
we're talking about the
about
linebackers.
crackheads.
I didn't. We're talking
We
about
were talking
linebackers.
about each
Yeah.
other's crack.
Yeah, I didn't get to my part about the linebackers yet.
Beto's turn. Yeah.
No.
No, I'm done. Go
It's
ahead.
You already
Charlie's
went.
turn.
Bachelor's is having a mountain over there. Give it to him.
Yeah, having a what?
You started it off. We
I-
already
I
went
know,
to
I'm
my
Mariah.
turn.
I'm
You
chilling.
mother- I'm messing with
chilling.
you, bro.
So yeah, about the linebackers. I mean, a lot of
Don't
it's.
be a sensitive bitch. This is so fun.
I wasn't mad. I was chilling. All right, so Demetrius Flanagan Foles played in spots last year, so we have seen a little bit of what he can do. Mariah made a great point about McCrary Ball. He's a nice little fit at linebacker too. And we got some unknowns though. I mean, D Winters was the pick, and while we were doing the live draft, I was the most excited about because I watched a bit of him and I love his skill set and the way he explodes into running backs and all that. But you know, he hasn't really he's shown that doesn't look too fast in camp and OTAs and mini camp, so he's got to speed up and get himself back into football shape. And Jalen Graham's looking a bit better than him. And Jalen Graham's a guy who studied Fred Warner ever since he saw Fred Warner play in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. So he's been a big fan of Fred Warner and he's trying to emulate his game. And he's kind of got that tall, rangy body type, kind of like Fred Warner too. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, what we heard from OTAs and mini camps, it sounded like Oren Burks was stepping up. And you know, I'm looking at ourlads.com, I guess it's some type of football website. They have like an unofficial depth chart and they have Oren Burks penciled in as a starter. So I don't know if people are going to be happy with that. Maybe he stepped up his game, or maybe somebody else could step up their game and beat him out. And we talked about trading some linebacker. Remember when we had that one linebacker, Jonas Griffith, and he never even played in the real game for us. He was on the practice squad pretty much for the 49ers in 2020 and the 2021 preseason. He was third on the 49ers in tackles, and he was the leading 49er in special teams tackles on that preseason. And the Broncos liked what they saw, and they asked for a freaking 7th round pick. So
Yeah.
you never know. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I want to say Burks has a shot, but to me, if you've got Flanagan, Foles, and you've got Burks, and they're dead even, I'm going with the younger guy. Because to me, he's on a trajectory going up, and that he's got more time to angle up instead of Oren Burks, who has tried so hard. What, 4 or 5 years? How many years he's been in the league? He's tried very hard to get to the position where he's at now. And to me, I don't think he's going to be making leaps, you know, like these other cats are each year to get to become a starter. So I just feel Burks is here for special teams, and who knows who will I just don't know if he'll make it or not. You know, like with special teams changing, who knows? Like punting is always going to be a thing, but like who knows how the kickoff changed everything and how Oren Burks will play in with the team going forth. You know what I mean? Like if he's not the starter and there's not as much need in special teams, he might be a casualty. Why is Larry kissing your ass, Beto?
Oh, it keeps changing the date on us.
Oh,
If you bring up what Brandon bring up Brandon's comment.
yeah.
Maybe he had to go to Pig and a Pickle.
Or maybe the pig got stuck in his pickle.
Yeah, maybe he has this
Pickle got
pickle
stuck
in
in a
his pig.
You know, it is you got to give him some credit. It is an away game. You know what I mean? So he doesn't really feel that he doesn't feel that necessity to have to, you know, be solidified at one time and space. He's kind of fluid. It's an away
we
game.
were supposed to go live yesterday and then change it to Wednesday, now to Sunday. At this rate, bro, he'll be going live next off season.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. And Brandon's so loving that he'll be like, okay. put some balls in those pants. Brandon, tell him, no puto. Get your pickle out of the
Are you-
pig and let's
are you-
go.
So you're asking him to demonstrate his Mexican side?
Yeah, no, and it's Italian side.
Oh, and his Italian side. It's a Sicilian side too. Yeah.
Sicilian, yeah.
Yeah. You want Larry just think you guys are a bunch of little chumps?
Wait.
Like he can take your time for granted.
Yeah,
He's-
exactly.
You guys got lives
Brandon's
too.
part
Shit.
Sicilian.
His last name's Ferragno.
That doesn't
His
mean
dad's
necessarily Sicilian, but
what does it
told me.
mean?
yeah,
Give me
well,
another nationality with that last name.
Italian.
He put yes. He put yes. See, he typed yes.
Okay, just saying. They got
Sicilian?
same names. It's just like
Are they different?
I'm part Sicilian. Well,
Sicilian and Italian is
kinda.
different? Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yes and no. So like there's like a hierarchy in Italy to where the people in the north are considered, you know, like the better ones, and the ones in the south are kind of considered dirty and grimy. But when you come over to the United States and you're talking about the world of the mafiosos, the top ones were all Sicilians. They spoke Sicilian, they didn't speak Italian. You know what I mean? And the Italians were like the second rate citizens because everything got reversed. So then you had, you know, like Sicilians in Italy who were connected with the mob now running parts of Italy itself because, you know, how things go, money talks.
This is why I love Mexicans in
So-
Mexico. We're all dirty.
And the 49ers are.
Well,
I think the Bartles are Sicilian too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are.
You know, I didn't mean to really put it that way, but that's kind of like how it's looked upon. It's kind of like a person from El Salvador. You know what I mean? Like in the like the South American hierarchy or the Central American hierarchy, there's like, you know, the hierarchies. And at the bottom, I think everybody says are the Salvadors, right? They've got a certain term for them. I don't know. It's what I've been told, that there's a hierarchy and people from different countries there's like Mexican people are at the top of the hierarchy, and then it just starts going down from there. And then I was like, oh,
Till we get
okay.
deported and then we're
told
not
this.
nowhere.
And I was told this by a person from El Salvador, and he was saying, "Yeah, we're at the bottom." And I was like, "What? What? You're being honest about this? Like, you know what I'm saying?"
I used to
okay.
work. I used to work with this girl. She was Salvadorian, and one time I called her Mexican. She's like, "I ain't no Mexican. I ain't crossed no river." And I looked at her and I thought at first, like, "You're right. You crossed 3 of them." She got pissed.
Like, bro, how do you think we got here to the West Coast? We crossed the river. It's called the
We
Mississippi.
all had to cross something, some ocean or some body of
But
water.
she was
Right.
pissed.
Right.
Unless you're Native
There's a
American.
body of water in the way.
Unless you're an American Indian, because even white folks cross something
Yep.
to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's get back to football
And
before we get
supposedly
banned.
there was a land bridge. Yeah.
I think we lost half
So
of
we
the
all
audience
let
now.
our topic.
Yeah, it's just us 4 now.
So I saw an article. Saying that PFF had graded the 49ers a top 5 wide receiver core. What's your thoughts on this? Let's go with Mariah.
love
You
it.
want to go first?
Did it say who they were, like how many players they were having as the core, or like was it just Brandon and Debo? Is it 3 wide
See,
receivers?
that's what I should have done more than just read the.
You would
the-
think it's the 2 though, because
title.
who's really the dirt for us?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like
It's Jawan
just- you
Jennings.
think it'd just be starting wide receivers or
Yeah.
wide receiver core? Because really, that's what I was thinking. Like, like I wouldn't put
Check the
our
chat.
top 3 wide receivers over other teams' top 3, but maybe just our 2.
So they were
I could
ranked
see.
number 4.
Check the chat, Mariah.
They were ranked
So
number 4.
they had the Bengals at
because
number
of
1.
Their
Yeah, and see, I
They
would think the
ranked number
Bengals
4.
would have the top 3.
Yeah. They got Jamar Chase,
They're ranked number
T.
4
Higgins,
due to their.
Tyler Boyd.
Okay,
It has to be the top two because you look at Seattle, you look at Dallas,
like my mic's not working.
Minnesota. Well, you just don't care what you have to say. It was working.
Actually, I'm
okay.
looking at the list right now. They
Trying
have
to
us
tell you what
ranked.
the article said.
Yeah, I see us ranked at
But-
number 4 ahead of Seattle. Interesting. Okay.
I was trying
Don't
to
get
tell you
mad,
that,
Ryan.
but
Don't get mad. We
Go
interrupt
ahead.
you.
Hang on,
Remember,
Ryan,
he doesn't like to be
Ryan's side,
interrupted.
no, you
Don't get
said
me-
everything I was going to say. Don't worry about it.
Well, the story says they have Debo, Brandon, and then it mentions George Kittle and CMC. So, I mean, it mentions all 4.
receiving
in the
threats.
article.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense now that they said that.
Carcast
So, yeah,
says he's
I mean-
hyped up for Friday. I don't know what he means by that, but
He's gonna wear his suit, I think.
Oh,
That's a hell
mean-
of a receiving core, if you ask me. Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and CMC. I don't know. Like it's hard to get better than that, you know.
Is
Yeah,
it
that's
They
safe?
have
Is,
the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Dolphins ahead of us. So I mean, I think that's fair.
is it safe to say that CMC runs the route tree better than Debo Samuel?
he runs it just as good.
I don't.
Or
Yeah, that's
better.
what I would put him on par. I think the issue is why CMC so good is because of who's covering him, who has to cover him, and where they're at when they, so he coming out of the backfield, the linebacker has to get out to the flat and get, he has to get depth, or not depth, but he has to get penetration essentially to get at him. At that time, Christian McCaffrey could already have the pass and then be able to turn around and make a move on him. So like, it's just nasty because and when he lines up on the line, it's still a linebacker out there, but you're talking about Christian McCaffrey essentially in open space because it's not like you're jamming him on the line. You know what I mean? So like, he's going to be able to move on you. So it's just nasty because it's a mismatch and he's so good at something that he's not even supposed to do.
And you can make the argument that CMC probably has better hands than Debo too.
I guess you
Out of
could.
those 4 people, Kittle is the last one. Can you believe that? Kittle will be receiver number 4 out of those 4 you mentioned. How crazy is that?
And did you guys hear about it? Brandon Jennings just constantly dropping passes in practice, but yeah, he makes the clutch ones in games. So
I think what's his name is going to replace.
I said Jawan
Brandon.
Jennings, not Brandon Jennings. Jawan Jennings. My bad. What I said,
Jawan
Brandon.
Jennings is going to be replaced by what's his name? The kid that we picked up from Wolverine. I can't think
Bell?
of his name. Yeah,
Ronnie Bell.
Ronnie
Wow,
Bell.
you
Yeah,
think so?
I really think so. I think this kid is
Really?
going to be special. Yeah.
They do love his hands in practice, and they say he can make circus type catches. A little
Yeah.
bit undersized, kind of built like maybe a little bit bigger than a Pettis, but we'll see, man. I'm gonna be very interested to see him, and I still want to see Danny Gray in the mix some way somehow.
Well, I heard a lot of positive things about Danny Gray so far. I mean, again, they're running out there in shorts and in t-shirts, so anybody looks good except me. But that's not the point.
Or your neighbor.
The pads is when you have to really look at them.
Yeah. What was I hearing? I heard Danny Gray had a bad day after he had a great day. That one that in
Yeah.
what was it? OTAs was it?
Or did he? I didn't hear
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. He had a great day and then he had a bad day, which was like the exact opposite of what you heard the first day.
Oh shit.
And I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, that's
That's
not
no
good.
bueno.
No.
No bueno.
But at the same time, like, he catches the ball with his body. So that's an issue. To me, that's an issue.
He needs to go out and
I
get it
want
with
you
fresh
to be-
hands.
I want you to be able to catch it with your body if need be, but I want you to be very proficient at catching it with your hands. Yes, very proficient. Like, that's what you're there for. That's the best way to catch a ball. So that's the way you should be doing it every time when it's applicable.
You you got to go above the defender. You know, if you catch it in your chest and the defender's right there, you can break it off. You go over the defender's head and you're able to have a chance to bring it in. But if you're not used to catching it with your hands, that can be
The only
a problem.
thing you should be catching with your body is like those passes where the defender's like right in front of you and you're leaning away and going back. And if you put your hands out, they can swat it. You know what I mean? So you're just like ready to get it in your body and hold it in there and then go down to the ground. That's the only time you should be really body catching things. You know, I'm sure there's other instances, you know, someone can come up in a certain situation, you know, with how somebody's positioned and whatnot. But, you know, in my head, that's really the only way I see like, it's reasonable, you know?
Yeah. You got to be able to do both in whatever situation you're in. What if it calls for a catch with your hands, you use your hands. If it calls for a catch, you have to use your body, then you do it. But you got to be able to be flexible to do both, and you can't just depend on catching it in your chest. It's not always going to work for you in that perspective. So you got to be able to leap. And I don't know. I think Danny Gray will be okay, but this guy Bell, really, I like him in college. He's a little bit undersized, like Bachelor, and I know he dropped the ball here and there after, you know, like in mini camp. But once you put on the helmet and the pads, it's going to be a little different. I want to see what he does, and I want to see him in preseason. Definitely see what he does. I think he'll challenge, because Jawan Jennings, there's no way they're bringing him back. They're not signing him to a big contract unless he blows you out of the water this year. And he's a free agent, so he's going to go. So we're going to have to find a replacement, whether we like it or not. It's true. Can I be honest? Will be the year that this is the last year with us. I don't see him being back next year. Do you guys?
I agree. No,
It's
I'm
like
with
the
you.
same thing with
KB.
Aziz last year.
I think
You
with
know what I mean?
Kendrick Bourne, it reminds me of.
Exactly.
Yep.
Where you draft certain depth pieces in hopes of those guys being just as good as the guy who you let walk away without giving him some big time contract, where you're never really going to see him live up to that contract, basically.
Yeah. If you can be replaced, they'll replace you. You have to like blow people out of the water, or the coaches, I should say, in order for them to keep you. But that's why they let Amenihue walk. They let what's the name, Sampson walk, because
Jordan Willis too. I was surprised.
but-
I kind of like Jordan Willis.
we like what I mean. I like what he did against Green Bay, but if you're honest, they're just rotational pieces that
Yeah.
I mean, they had what 8-9 sacks amongst each other.
True, true.
You got to get more production than that. You can get that from Farrell and
Austin Bryant.
so
Hopefully, we get more for Drake Jackson.
yeah, I would love, yeah.
I'm sorry, Drake Jackson.
I think this again. I know this is not a Drake Jackson conversation, but I really believe this kid is going to have a heck of a 2023 breakout season. This kid's going to be the guy for us going forward, man. Get your
I agree.
jerseys, man. That's how confident I am.
Oh, get your Drake Jackson jersey. You heard from
I-
Beto. He sells jerseys too.
Yep, I got mine.
I hope so. I
I'm
hope
just
so.
killing 2 cows
If
to
he
make
could
it. but
have-
I'm getting it.
If he could have the season you're talking about, I think we're number one defense in the league, hands down. I think
Yes, sir.
everybody is going to shit themselves when they have to play us, because you're going to have 4 grumpy assholes on the line just trying to chew on you. And nobody wants to show up to work with that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to show up to work knowing that's going to happen at them day in, day out, or down in, down out. So,
Yeah, I think we're going to get some 2019 vibes this year.
if he does, I'm excited. I'm just not expecting it to happen. You know what I mean? Because
No, I hear you don't want to let down.
Yeah. I don't be, but also I don't want to be. I don't want to sell myself on something and then turn around and like get mad at him for something he didn't do. When no fall on him, because I jack up my expectations. Kinlaw,
Real quick, can I give a quick shout out, Ryan?
please.
I want to give a big shout out to Niner Fanatic Podcast. Pete is
Hey,
in the
Pete.
house. What's
What's
up,
up,
brother?
Pete?
This guy works hard. He grinds hard building his channel, man. If you're not already subscribed to his channel, please do me a favor. And when you get a chance, go and subscribe to his channel. Great guy, man. He brings the heat, and he loves the Niners. So go and give him a follow.
And we bring the heat.
Yes.
Bring
Yeah,
the
he
heat
was-
with Pete.
He went live last night. I think he went live again tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I think he went live at 6 actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure to go and check him out on his channel and see what he's talking
starting
about.
next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Me and him are going to do a channel together every Wednesday at 6 with Pete. So
David McNider brought up a great point in the chat, because I think like Drake Jackson only had like 359 snaps last year, put up 3 sacks, and he put 15% of the snaps, 8 batted balls. So
yeah, this guy's going to be a monster, man.
By default, he should have much more production just for the fact that he's going to be playing in more games and more snaps. And now he's built his upper body. They say he looks a bit more explosive as well. So I'm ready to see it.
Yep.
Can we admit that as a defensive end, you probably shouldn't be having that many batted balls?
You shouldn't. It should be more the interior guys to do it, but
yeah.
But if you're not getting home, get to the ball however you can.
Exactly. Yes. So that's one thing we're talking about, like, because we brought this up the other night. We're like, hey, that's great. I'm glad to see you working and getting some production, and I'd rather have a batted ball, you know what I mean, than have a completion. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really good, thing. But I need you to get after the quarterback, because if we can't bank on batting balls, what we need to bank on is putting the quarterback in the ground on third down.
You don't use yards by batting the ball now. You just miss on a completion and down, but you sack a quarterback and now you're losing 10 yards, 15 yards, depending how back you go. So
you're getting better field position after the kickoff or after the punt. You know what I mean? There's lots of things that go into it. You know what I mean? Psychological weighs on people. You know what I mean? If you can't finish drives consistently, what makes you think starting a drive, anything's going to be different?
Yeah, you're not going to make a quarterback nervous because you bat his ball down. You're going to make him nervous when you sit on his ass and you push yourself off of him, tell him I'm going to keep on coming. That makes the quarterback unrattle a little bit.
Yeah, because all you do by batting his balls down is he knows that lane isn't open.
Exactly.
So I need to now move to get to a different lane to throw that pass. You know what I mean? It's different than being put in the ground over and over and over and over again when you're like, I was just about ready to, you know what I mean? Like, it's so defeating, when you're about ready, you got the guy open, and then, I got to hold on to the ball. We're going to get sacked. Oh, now we got to kick it. Oh, I had him open.
And don't sleep on Clinton Farrell, man. Really, don't sleep on this kid. I think this kid's I think he was misused with the Raiders. They were having him draw back, cover the tight end, and this guy just pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. So under Chris Kocurek, I expect big things. What's the kid that came for us from the Raiders 2 years ago, and he got better, and then he went and got a big payday with the Jaguars.
Seattle?
No. You're talking.
I know exactly who you're
about
thinking of. I can picture in my head right now. I know who you're talking about. I know he's supposed to be on the Raiders.
He was
from LSU.
Yeah, he was decent. Clint Farrell is way better a prospect than he was, and he was able to elevate his play under Chris Kocurek coming away from the Raiders. I expect Farrell to do the same, if not more. So
the guy you're talking about, Arden Key.
Arden Key, yes, sir.
I feel Farrell's going to have like Charles Omenihu year with like 8+ sacks, 8 to 10 sacks. I think Cleveland Farrell's going to have something like that this year.
Remember, Omenihu did not have 8. You're still stuck on the 8 part. He had 5.
He had 5. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I still think. Yeah. Maybe he'll be our carry.
I wish he would have had 8.
That?
Maybe Clemson Farrell's going to have 8. There you go. You're speaking into existence.
Yep. Mariah,
we actually traded for a minute. Go ahead, Mariah.
I mean, I already said what I needed to say.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I hadn't heard from you a while, and I didn't want us to just be, running our.
One thing about Mariah, if she has something to say, she'll speak. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is true. She doesn't. She doesn't hold anything back. I think she just enjoys us
looking at the fools and making our comments. Like, which of these 3 idiots are going to make them fool out of themselves? Oh, all 3 of them. Okay.
I got asked if I was the asshole that worked mornings, and I said, "Yep."
Wow.
And she's like, and she thought it was like a joke, and I was just like, "Yep." That's me. You know what I mean? Like fully embraced it.
I would say, call me
It's
Mr.
like,
Asshole.
Well, I can't be an asshole, right? So I'm not going to get mad at you for calling me an asshole. I know that I could definitely be an asshole, right? Okay, that's fine. I got it. Okay, hey, we're good. You know what I mean? Like I'm not mad. You know what I mean? Like it's understandable. Yes. That is who I
And
am.
you know who you are. You know what I mean? How can you get pissed off, even if they mean it as a joke?
Right? Like, it's me.
Yep.
Okay. We got like 5 minutes left. Is there anything anybody wants to get off their chest? Is there any heat that someone may want to bring?
I don't have any, but if anybody has any ideas in the chat to inspire me, let us know. Maybe Beto has something to Mariah. I don't know.
I already dropped F-bombs in the first 5 minutes of the show, so
Yep.
somebody else has to keep up here.
All I know is Brock Purdy's going to win the Super Bowl and be MVP in this year's Super Bowl.
Oh, God. All I know is that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch looks like they're going to shit down the whole 3 years of draft capital and nothing will happen. And I don't know how you could do that. You know what I mean? I don't know how you could do that.
Easy.
You have to.
You give 3 first round picks for a player that does not live up to his hype.
Yeah, but so
or has it?
You know he's a project. You know he's a project, and then you just like sit him on the shelf, and then you keep coming back to the shelf. Like, well, why isn't this shit different?
If you need somebody to run a mile run for you, are you going to get me as a project to lose some weight and give me? You're going to get somebody that actually can run the damn mile.
Right.
You're not going to wait.
Okay.
But they went and got him knowing he was a project.
Exactly.
Like they knew he was a project and went and got that.
When they were
But they thought they
could
could work with him, and maybe they found out that it was hard. You know, sometimes you get something and you thought you can do something with it, and you're like, realize, oh shit, this is going to be harder than I thought.
So what did they not do in all their beforehand work that they could have seen that this, throwing mechanisms, his mechanics were off to the point where they're like, oh, maybe he's not such a natural thrower at this point, so he has to revamp things. So that's going to put his date back. There's lots of things that they could have done to make a better decision there. And they decided
Brock Purdy played before they drafted him.
What's up?
They could have seen what Brock Purdy can bring to the team, which they couldn't. But if they would have saw what Brock Purdy
they had 4 years of tape.
32 other teams didn't see what Brock Purdy brought to the table.
They were willing to take him the year before.
They just went against his limitations. They're like, he's not tall enough. He doesn't have that strong arm. And a lot of the scouts admit it. Oh shit, we dropped the ball on Brock. We should have been looking at is what he can do, not what he can't do. And what did the scouts do this year? They were all trying to go and get a Brock Purdy type, prototype quarterback this year. They saw what he can do. They just overlooked it because, a fat, ugly girl can be the most pretty nice inside, but you're not going to see it. And the most sexiest girl in bikini has the lousiest attitude, but you're going to maybe overlook the attitude because she has a nice body.
No,
it's unfair, but it's the truth.
But you're saying teams are trying to find a Brock Purdy. I mean, maybe towards the end of the draft, just because otherwise, all the quarterbacks that got drafted earlier were the guys with all the top skill sets. So
no, they're in the middle of the draft, of course, but they still looking for their Brock Purdys. As the year before, nobody was looking for a Brock Purdy. That's where you went last.
I mean, he's a game manager type quarterback. Nobody's going to look like. I mean,
how is he game manager? I don't understand.
He is a game manager. I mean, he could now. He did more than Jimmy because he can move around. He's mobile, but he plays well within the system and he does the right things. He hits his layups. Jimmy.
So then I'll take a game manager if that's the case.
Balls. With the team that we have, it works, I'd say, but I don't know how long it will last, or if we're going to get the same exact results. I mean, with him coming off an injury, or with teams having more film on him, we don't.
The height is a limitation. The arm is a limitation, but the the skill set that what he's able to do on the field to be able to make his reads, command the huddle, not let things get to him. The stage is not too big for him. For him to do and make adjustments, look at his reads, lead the linebackers away with his eyes. All these things that he does, it's not something that a regular rookie does. Any regular rookie would have came in against Miami and just laid an egg. Would have tried his best, but probably would have laid an egg, and we probably would have lost that game. This kid came in like he's been playing for 2 or 3 years. I'm nothing against Trey, but Trey is a project. We don't know what we have in Trey, but we've seen what we have in Brock. And yes, can Brock be the same after this injury? We don't know. We would have to see that. I'm basing this as Brock can be the guy that he was last year after this injury. That's what I'm basing it on. Based on the decision make. Now, can Trey make those decisions? Of course, but is he doing it now? He's not. Can we afford with this roster right now to wait on a project quarterback? We got to win now. We can't start. I know everybody like, well, we started slow last year and the year before. Yeah, and we played in Philadelphia and had no bye. We were second instead of number 1 seed. I'd rather be the number 1 seed, have a bye, and play it at home. We got to start strong. And if Brock can't go, I'm not for them rushing him to go. Then you start Trey. But if Brock comes back towards the end of August and has one good practice in there and able to practice during the preseason, even though he don't play in preseason, then start him week 1. I want to start fast and hot. And right now, the best quarterback that gives us a chance to win is Brock. Because we know what we have in Brock, the good and the bad. We don't know what we have in Trey. Do you really want to risk time and losses on what ifs?
I still think Brock's a question mark this year just because of the injury. I mean,
well, yeah,
that alone's an injury.
Of course. But if he's able to get back to that form, let's say both quarterbacks were hurt, which they were, right? So which quarterback, if they can get back to 100%, do you trust more right now? Brock Purdy.
I might be trusting Trey more because everybody keeps saying he's improved on so many different facets of his game.
No disrespect, bro, but you're letting your emotions get the best out of you. You want Trey to be successful.
They're speaking facts
because you
him.
like Trey.
But I mean, nobody's making stuff up about Trey. They're saying he has improved, has made improvements, but and he already had. He already had.
That he's improved, but he hasn't played a game yet to show that showcase. Brock has played 8 games to show that.
Okay, I get it, but I want to see what these improvements are about. I want to see them on the field.
You want to see because you're a fan of Trey, and I understand.
No, because I think it's the best thing for the team if he hits his ceiling.
So you'd rather lose 3 or 4 games, but yet we find out whether we have something good in Trey or not?
I'm saying I'm not. Oh my gosh, dude!
I'm just asking a simple question.
I'm just saying if what they're saying is true, if he's closer to hitting his potential now with all these improvements that he's made to this game, and he's possibly at the point where he may be closer to hitting his ceiling, it looks like he's ready to step in and be the starter, and we won't have to worry about losing games, assuming all that is true. But the coaches are gonna make that decision. But then again, I just want him to get a fair shot if he really, really has made those improvements and adjustments.
But that's what I'm saying. Would you be willing to lose 4 games in the name of him getting an honest chance, a shot and evaluation? Yes or no?
I mean, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I don't want to lose 4 games, but I don't see it happening with this team. I never saw Trey play terrible, where he was just throwing picks left and right and looking worse than Jimmy. Jimmy made endless mistakes, and we still won games. So, I think he gives you that wow factor with big plays that Jimmy never brought. So. I think we still find a way to win, even if he isn't fully developed yet.
So if we go into Pittsburgh and we beat Pittsburgh because of our defense, but Trey has a lousy game, do you give him another shot? Week 2.
I mean, assuming Brock's not healthy or Brock's not ready and Brock's not showing that he's better.
Of course, if Brock's not ready.
I'd give him a shot. I mean, Pittsburgh they get off the hot starts at home to open their season, and we historically get off the bad starts to start off our season. So it might not be a Trey problem.
Let me put it this way. Let's say we go into Pittsburgh and Trey plays the first 2 quarters and he struggles big time. And then after the halftime, they decide to bring in Brock and comes in and he just comes in and beats the Steelers and has a great game. Then what?
Well, if the Brock is back to normal, I mean, okay. But I think that's way too soon.
I'm not bashing. I know it sounds like I'm bashing Trey. I'm not. I'm just being honest. I'm not being emotional. I just want to win Lombardi number 6. No, if Trey wins it and he can do it, hey, I'll rock with Trey. I got his jersey behind me. Let's rock with him. If it's Trey, if it's Sam Darnold, I know nobody wants to hear Sam Darnold. I doubt it's going to be Sam Darnold, but even if it is, I just want to win trophy number 6. I don't care who it is. I like players. I buy jersey. I have Steve Young, but at the end of the day, it's the emblem that I support, not necessarily the name in the back or the name in the front. If it's Trey and Trey can do it, and I wish the kid the best, and hey, let's win championships for years with Trey. But I want the best player out there, regardless of what their name is.
Well, I want the best player too, but a lot of quote unquote Niner fans don't even want to see a competition between Trey and Brock.
Those are idiot fans, bro.
Because they assume that Trey Lance is garbage and the worst quarterback.
Those are emotional fans that have no merit. Those are idiot fans that don't even know football. They don't even know how to read a defense, or they're just a very emotional drama queens. They go out there. How can you hate on Trey? How can someone call Trey a bust if he hasn't played enough to do that? I like Brock. I want Brock to start because I like seeing what I see, but I'm never going to call Trey a bust. You can't. If I called or someone calls Trey a bust, then you are just hating on him, period. You just
Shout out
hate
to
him.
Flav.
Yeah, you just hate him. Exactly like that idiot.
Slave. Oh my God. I can't believe
He
he said
hates
his name.
he hates
Oh my
Trey.
gosh.
How do you call him a bust? I'm just saying I don't know if he's ready or he ever is going to be that player that we want him to be. I don't want to take a risk, but I'm never calling him a bust. This kid can be a great look at Josh Allen. It took him 3 years first year Josh Allen arrived in Buffalo from Wyoming, small college like Trey, wasn't accurate. Everybody and their mamas in Buffalo fan base wanted him out of there. Get rid of Josh Allen. Get rid of Josh. And those are the same idiots that have all his jerseys now. We love Allen. I'm not saying that Trey isn't a bust. Now, this is the thing, and it happened, and it's unfortunate for Trey. Trey's opportunity to showcase who he could be was last year if he didn't get hurt, because there was no Brock yet. Jimmy, no matter what, he was not going to be here. So that would have been his opportunity to mess up and get opportunities. Unfortunately, damn injury, Trey got an unfair shot. I want Trey to get a shot, whether it's here or another team. I want the best for the kid. I know some of us are too attached. We're not, I want him best here. I just want best for Trey, whether it's here or another team. If you really care about the kid, you don't care what team he plays for. You just want the best for him.
Yeah, but what if he goes to the Vikings for
I wouldn't
Kirk
like it.
Cousins?
I'll throw up.
Yeah,
Just think about
bro,
that.
that's like putting salt in the wound, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
He plays good and we get Kurt.
Yeah.
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 No. Then Kyle needs to be fired immediately. I don't give a shit how good of a play caller he is. Just on that alone. Now, but it's going to be up to Brock. If Brocky can, Brocky, oh my God. If Brock can be a good quarterback, then we're not going to see Kurt. If Brock shits the pan and doesn't become the player that we thought he could be, then yes, the scary thought is Kurt could be coming. Even if Trey stays with us and has a mediocre season with us, that leaning question of Kurt could still be looming, because he's not going to be back with the Vikings next year, and that shit is scary. So I hope one of these damn quarterbacks showcase what they can do just to prevent Kirk from coming.
Yeah, I'd rather Brock
Real quick,
and Trey or Trey over Kirk. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Want to give a shout out to our guy Aaron from 49er First Takes. Thanks for popping
what's up,
in,
Aaron?
sir.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Aaron.
Up there.
Hope you're doing good, sir.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
What if Brock Purdy hasn't done training camp or able to play in preseason? So he's wanting to know if he's starting.
No, he shouldn't.
Even though this.
If he doesn't get the snaps with the number ones before week 1, he has no business playing. He has to be able to come in 2 weeks before the end of August, get some snaps with reps with the first team, and go from there. no, you should not start him cold like that because that can hurt him.
No.
That Trey's taking all the damn snaps. Why would you want to take? I mean, if they do that, people may say, well, they hate Trey. They don't like. That might just tell me that Trey does not showing them what they need to see if they're going with Brock. I know people are going to say, well, Kyle loves Brock, so no matter how good, that's not true. I believe that if Trey Lance really does very well in training camp and play some good games in preseason, there's no way Kyle's going with Brock. He will roll with Trey. He might be prideful, but he's not stupid. The only way he'll force Brock in there is if either Sam or Trey is not convincing him enough that he can win games with them.
I just think at the end of the day, they still see what the hell they have in the guy who they gave up so many picks for, and him ending his season off of Kyle recklessly running him in between the tackles was irresponsible. So that's all.
Well, I wonder why he didn't run Brock in between the tackles.
Well, because he learned his lesson. Because he's like, why would I? Why would I get? I already got one guy injured. Why would I get Brock injured?
Maybe he didn't run Brock because Brock can actually complete the damn balls.
No, he didn't run Brock because he didn't want another quarterback getting hurt like that. And Brock never ran those type of runs. Trey did, but
it seems like Kyle uses certain quarterbacks differently. Like he sees one quarterback as a certain type of quarterback, and he's going to use him like that. You know what I mean? Like RG3.
So Brock's Sicilian and Trey's Italian, or the other way around. I don't know how you know.
Yeah, kind of. I would say if you're talking about in Italy.
For the record, in OTAs
not here in America.
In OTAs and mini camps. Okay. But really quick, I just want to say that.
No, go ahead.
Cohn didn't see Lance, at least from what the reporter saw. Lance wasn't running anything up the middle. They weren't running any type of QB design runs at all the whole time that the media was available for practice. So
yeah,
it sounds like they were actually using him like a real quarterback.
Trey got hurt. It wasn't even. The call wasn't even for him to run in the middle. Trey chose to run that. By the way,
I know Trent Williams missed a block too on that play too. If he just put a hand on the linebacker, it would never been that explosive.
If I would have not ate the cheeseburger yesterday, I would have lost maybe 2 pounds, bro. There's no what ifs. It's just it is what it is.
That's inaccurate bet though.
What do you mean it's inaccurate? You eat the shit you shouldn't be eating. You can't be complaining being fat.
Right. No, I'm talking about, you talk about a hamburger that would have to have a 2-pound hamburger would have to
you haven't
have
seen my hamburger, bro.
Quarter poundy. 8 quarter poundy patties?
No, I'm kidding. You know, it's funny for being a big I can't eat a lot in one sitting. You know how people assume you're fat, so you can eat like 15 hamburgers? My problem is I eat every 20 minutes. That's what I got to chill out on.
Yeah, me a little too. You never know. I might just, the next thing you know, I'm a little hungry. You know what I mean?
That's my problem.
Plus, ever since I had my daughter, like I gained the sympathy weight and I never worked it back off. It was just, it's always been there ever since.
But everything was taken away from me, bro. Alcohol, drugs, good or bad, whatever. It was taken away from me because of health, whatever. So, and because of my injury. So the only thing I have is food. And they're like, you gonna take that shit? Well, bury me now. Like, don't you want to live along? I said, I'd rather live 20 more years eating the shit that I want than living 40 more years and eating freaking like a rabbit. And it might sound like it was stupid. Like, that's not smart. It is for me. I want to go out my way. I want to be happy. I want to be miserable. 30 years. I don't want to be that grumpy old man. Get over me because I'm all pissed off. Because, you know what I mean? I want to be able to be happy. Shit. Anyway,
I don't want to be living till I'm old as hell anyway.
Yeah, exactly. In pain. Yeah.
I'm sick of this shit already.
Thank you. Yeah, me and Mariah, we know exactly what we mean. Yeah. It's like, so the way I feel today is like 70-year-old person feels. Like, man, I'm only in my 50s.
My cousin got married and his wife was trying to, do the whole we eat fancy and you know what I mean? The artesian type meals and what like that. And, I don't know what all she was doing, but she wasn't like, he just wanted some meat and potatoes, right? That's the type of guy he is. Give me some meat and, and a potato, and we're good. You know what I mean? Like it's broccoli, we're good with that. A salad for the meal, yeah, we're good with that. Just want a plain, simple meat potato, right? So something's going on with his health, right? He goes to the doctor. The doctor says, "It's your diet." He's like, "You need meat and potatoes for a regular diet." He went home and he told the wife, "Hey, if you want me to be healthy, you gotta give me the meat and the potatoes."
Yes. Yeah. Diet's not for everybody. You got to figure out what works for you, your body, and be smart. I understand. You don't eat the chocolates and the candies and the potato chips. It's funny because I don't have that. Some people like to have potato chips and all the sweets. I don't care for sweets. I don't have no potato chips. I don't have a problem eating broccoli and carrots with ranch for a munch. But man, when my wife makes the enchiladas and chile rellenos, yeah, that's what. Yeah, being Mexican and having a good appetite is bad combo. And I blame my sister, who, God rest her soul, she used to always cook really good food and just give it to her chubby brother because she had 5 kids and she never weighed over 100 pounds. Because she never ate her stuff like a good drug dealer. Never take your own stash. What's up, Don?
Shout out to Dan.
Don. Now I sound like you.
Lieutenant. Oh, that's my friend Dan Castillo. What's up, dude?
No, now stupid jumped over here to my side. Sorry, Dan.
Appreciate you.
Don.
Appreciate you for showing up, Dan. This is our new show. You'll be able to see Bashar every Tuesday at 6:00. Not necessarily on this channel, but he will be on this channel at least once a month.
That made no sense.
Who's got it next week?
You just said not on this channel, but on this channel.
What channel I'm going to be on? Hey, we're going to be.
But on once a month, it will be on this channel.
Got you. Next week will be Mariah.
It'll be on Mariah's. So make sure to subscribe to this channel. I forgot to fill out the description for everybody's.
It's all good, bro. It's our new channel today. This first time. There's we'll get all that stuff fixed. We still got to do the intro and a bunch of stuff. So, hey man, just if you want the heat,
I'm not cutting you no slack. We've been running basically the same show for freaking months already. So get it together.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is one thing I love about the heat. If we can't go at each other's throats, then we should just call this something different than bring the heat. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we all have one thing in common, man. We hate each other. We like the Niners. What'd you say? You got a penis in your throat? What?
Can't go for my throat.
Oh, it can't go for your throat. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
I was getting jealous there for a minute there, Ryan. How can you?
You know Corey packs a shotgun?
I don't know how to respond
Corey
to
got
that.
a shotgun.
I don't know how to respond to that, bro. I don't know which angle you're playing here.
Oh my gosh, Beto.
I don't.
Maybe we should wrap it up with that note.
What's up, Ty?
What up, Ty?
What's up, Ty?
Aren't you picking?
Tie it up, bro. Tie it up. Get it?
Aren't you picking Corey up on Sunday?
No,
going to meet Tom Grossi.
I don't know. We gotta. I haven't talked to them. We got to talk to him and Bryant.
Bashar, did you know that Tom Grossi is coming to Levi's Stadium
Okay.
on this Sunday?
Okay, I didn't know.
You want to go with us, Bashar, or I'll pick you up too?
I'm busy, dude, with some family stuff.
Okay.
I will be meeting.
Bashar was
Tom
busy before he even knew what day it was.
He's like, "Who's going?" I'm busy.
He still has
I barely know who he is. I mean, Beto told me about him a while back. I know his YouTube channel, but I just don't subscribe to him. I don't really watch his stuff.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of his videos.
It's funny. He's a comedian. Yeah. He's pretty funny with his when teams lose or they get bounced out of the playoffs. He does some funny shit.
Yeah, he is.
I want to do something like that, but I can't afford all those jerseys in my size. So I'm like, nope, it's not going to work for me.
His reaction, fans' reaction of the season. It's always really
good.
Yeah.
That's funny shit.
But with that, let's wrap it up. Beto, let everybody know what you got going on the rest of the week, where they can find you.
Thank you, sir. On Wednesdays, not this Wednesday, not tomorrow, but starting next Wednesday, me and my boy Pete Fanatic Podcast. We're going to be starting our own show at 6 p.m. Pacific. Then on Thursdays, do we have anything? No, Thursdays open. And then on Fridays, I have my show with my co-host Jess on Friday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check us out there. And then Tuesdays here with the Bring the Heat podcast with this wonderful crew right here.
Bringing the heat.
Mariah?
Yeah, tomorrow I'll be on Pete's show. Speaking of Pete, I'll be on Pete's channel at 6 tomorrow. And then you can find myself and TL, I'm not sure what time yet, but sometime Friday on our channel, 49 Faithfully. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got going this this week.
Good point, Ty. I agree.
Yep.
Ryan should have 5,000 subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ty. I
That is
100%
totally true.
would agree. I don't know what the F is happening.
And but
Her
my
and TL
channel
have
just
a
under.
very good show.
Oh yeah, TL is awesome.
Sorry.
I wish TL would be on more often with Mariah because he's really, really good and Mariah's awesome. A lot of fun to watch her channel with all the giveaways they do and all the fun
He's
stuff
a
they do.
brother.
And it's gonna be Thursday. Usually it's Friday at every 3 o'clock every Friday. For Ball with Ted and Bash, what we're gonna be doing on Thursday this week. And who knows, I may have a show of surprise guests on Friday or Saturday. We'll see what's up later this week.
I like it a lot.
Fucker.
What you got
I got
going
that
on, Ryan?
shit.
You doing some coke?
Mess with me. I got my fan. I ain't doing coke unless I got a missus to mess around with. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'll be boning everything. The chickens, the roosters,
That's right.
the
You know what I'm saying?
crackheads,
The roommate.
Go for 4
the
hours.
roommate, yourself.
Yeah.
You ever
It's,
watch-
it's not
You
worth
guys ever
doing
watch
unless you
Scary
got a
Movie?
lady.
You ever watch Scary Movie? I forgot what Scary, but the guy's like, I don't need no one to give me a hand. I can do it myself. He's in a wheelchair and he puts his head down. That is
Yeah.
some funny. You gotta watch. That's some funny shit.
The best
But,
part is when the brother has sex with the vacuum. But
Oh yeah.
with
The
that-
white dude.
With that, Bashar, what do you have going on this week?
I already mentioned it. Just the Ball with Ted and Bash on Thursday. That was it.
Oh, my bad.
That tells you he's
Well,
not paying
Joey's
attention to
here.
what you're
We're-
saying, bro.
Yeah, Joe
Thought
was here,
about
Joey
having
was
sex
here,
with the
but we're-
vacuum and everything just went out of my mind, you know?
He was, he was thinking
All
of
right, that siren's
Kirby.
giving us a good
Yo,
message.
Kirby.
They're coming for you.
Yeah. Hey,
Man, everybody
Jehovah
popping in.
Witnesses. Jehovah Witnesses, stay away from Ryan because if he's smoking crack, yeah, you'll be doing more than just preaching to him.
If isn't that a given?
Stay away from his door, man.
And with that, I think we're good. Thank you all for tuning in the chat. Seahawks Eddie, thanks for popping in there at the end. The chat was fire tonight. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We appreciate you all for tuning in.
Yes.
And make
sir.
sure to look for us next week, 6 o'clock on Mariah's channel. All right.
See you.
So
See ya.
peace out.
Peace.
Go
La
Niners.
verga.